North of Frostheim, the greatest city in the north, Prince Arkin and his men had ridden into the forests of Nordfell, hunting stag beneath the shadow of the trees. Through the thickly falling snow, Prince Arkin loosed his drawn bow with a gentle release. The arrow flew true, slicing the air in silence, and struck the wild stag, known as Tungra, straight through the heart. As the prince and his loyal companion Einar celebrated the success of the hunt, two feral eyes emerged with a low growl from the tree line, watching them from 200 meters back, hidden among the trees. Those eyes belonged to a Draumus, the largest bear not only in the north, but in all of Sangarus. The savage giant had caught the scent of blood, both the fallen stag and the crimson trail it left upon the snow. The prince's men would not be able to hold the Draumus for much longer. Sensing the danger, Prince Arkin acted swiftly. He turned to Einar and said, "Give me the hunting spear." Prince Arkin glanced at the rock behind him, then drove the thick, long-tipped hunting spear deep into the snow. The Draumai tore through the prince's men, scattering them like leaves in a storm. As the Draumis thundered toward him, all rage and might, Prince Arkin stood calm, waiting with cold precision for the beast to draw near. And the instant it leapt, he raised the snow-buried spear, bracing it against the rock behind him. The hide of the Draumai was thick as armor, too strong, it seemed, for any spear to pierce. But with the force of its own weight and speed, the beast drove itself onto the blade. A thunderous roar echoed through the forest, and then the great giant collapsed to the ground. On the road home, Einar shared his concerns with Prince Arkin about King Aesai. Lately, the king seemed not himself. Whispers told of shadowed faces seen visiting him within the palace, and soon after, blood would follow. Some even claimed the Southern Rebellion, one strong enough to break the peace between thrones, had been orchestrated by the king himself. The prince, occupied with the governance of smaller cities, had been unaware of these matters. He was taken aback and said he would speak to his father about it. When they returned from the hunt to the palace, Arkin was greeted by his younger brother, Espen. Espen embraced him warmly, and the prince smiled. "Next time," Arkin said, "you're coming with me." Einar warned Prince Arkin to stay calm during his coming talk with the king, no matter what. The king's unsteady mind had begun to trouble him. "Don't worry," Arkin said. "I'll do as you ask. No matter what happens, the peace between thrones will hold." When the prince entered the royal hall, King Aesai, also known as King Gormson, was seated on his throne, waiting with a mocking gaze. No sooner had Prince Arkin stepped before him than he began to speak, telling his father what he had heard, and asking whether the Southern Lord's rebellion had been his doing. Aesai gave a mocking grin and said to the prince, "Interesting. Go on." The prince continued, "My king, this is a grave and dangerous matter. As your son, if any of this is true, I ask you to put an end to it." The king's fury swelled like a vast shadow, swallowing the chamber whole. "And who are you," he roared, "to question your king's decisions? Who I speak with or strike deals with is no concern of yours." The prince, too, was now angered. "We bled for this peace, father," he shouted, "and you're casting it aside without a second thought." Ice Eye's fury rose even higher. You are neither old enough nor wise enough to know what is good or ill for this realm, he thundered. I am the king. Tend to the duties I have given you. Now get out of my sight. Though anger burned within him, the prince held his fury in check and left the chamber. Outside, Einar was waiting. How did it go? He asked. Prince Arkin answered. What you heard is true, my dear friend, and I swear to you, I will make it right. Then he turned and rode from the keep. Meanwhile, King Vartan was delivering a welcome speech at the peace banquet he had summoned for the rebel lords. Representatives, spokesmen, and aides from all 7 banners filled the hall, more than 200 in total. All who had taken part in the uprising, or supported it from the shadows, were there. None wished to squander the chance for the great pardon the king had promised. Your presence here, King Vartan said, is essential for lasting peace. As the Red King continued his forward-looking conciliatory speech, a servant leaned in close and whispered, "The preparations are complete, my lord." The king rose to his feet. "Queen Olia is feeling unwell," he said, "but she dearly wishes to join you. With your leave, I'll go and escort her here myself." Then, with renewed warmth, he raised his voice once more. "Remember, this sacrifice you've made holds great meaning for the future. Now eat, drink, my friends. The night is yours." The guests, reassured by the king's words, had relaxed, and now laughed and celebrated, unaware of what was to come. One by one, the doors of the hall closed, quietly, deliberately. The king gave a final order to his chief guard, Lord Altuga. "Take the children of the noble families to the place we agreed." And then, the true feast began. A single flame, born from a lone candle, spread like a living thing, devouring the hall in moments. Panic erupted. Guests screamed and rushed the doors, but none would open. The ancient stone sanctuary was swallowed by fire. And the screams vanished into the smoke that rose into the sky.